In this episode of Profit Accumulator versus OddsMonkey, we're having a look at which site offers the best match betting tools. Welcome back to the channel. My name's Chris, and on here I like to talk about match betting, making money online, and generally how to be smarter with your money. If you're interested in joining any of the groups that I've got to help you make more money each month through match betting, check out the links that I'll leave down in the description. In episode 1 of the series, we looked at which site has the better free trial. Then in episode 2, we looked at which site had more welcome offers. And now in this third episode of the series, we're going to be checking out which one has the best match betting tools, such as odds matchers, extra place matchers, calculators, and so on. Getting straight into it then and jumping on the laptop, here on the OddsMonkey dashboard, we're going to jump on the odds matcher first and check out what that looks like over on OddsMonkey. So as you can see, it's a very nice, clear, simple, easy layout. You've got filters here which you can set up so that you can easily just click and then it'll just give you a preset filter for whatever you set up, and you can have as many of those as you want. So there I've got my 2-up high odds filter set up, and then you can just set that to default if you want to see everything that's going on. Then you've got an easy layout for the filter here to go through everything and set everything up how you want it. Really quick and easy and simple. Then looking down onto the actual list of everything, you've got it all laid out simply. So the dates, when it's going to happen, the event that's happening, what kind of bet it is, what type of bet it is, and then the match rating. So obviously here it's going to show you the very best ones to start with. Top tip, always set your match percentage rating to 100%, so you don't get to see any ARBs, and that's a great way to not be tempted to take any ARBs. ARBs, of course, will get you gubbed, and if you don't know what gub means, it's just where you get state restricted and you don't get any more free bets. So that's why you won't see any over 100% on my odds matcher. Then over the next one, we've got the bookmaker, the back odds, which exchange it is, and again, because I just use Smarkets, that's why all I have there is Smarkets, because of the 0% commission when you're a OddsMonkey or Profit Accumulator premium member. Then there's the lay odds there, and then the amount of money available to lay that bet. So as you can see there for the Man City bet there, over £6,000 available. And then there's other features here which you can select to show you which alerts you have. You can also disable bookmakers, so I've disabled a few there. And then you can click on that and you can set up which commissions you're paying. So of course I've put 0% in for the Smarkets box. And then there's a full list of settings you can set up, and you can also then just press refresh there, nice and easy. Hopping over onto the Profit Accumulator dashboard then, in order to get there, odds matcher, it's just this one here, so we'll go ahead and take a look at that one. Now, before I talk about the Profit Accumulator odds matcher here, I must say that I have no reason, no bias to either of these. I do earn a commission for you signing up to either of these sites through my link, and of course I've got free trials to both of these down below in the description, and I do appreciate it if you decide to go ahead and sign up to either of these through my link. But I have no reason to say one or the other is better or worse. But as you can see here, when we go on to the Profit Accumulator odds matcher, for me, it's really not, I don't know if it's because I've used OddsMonkey for over 2 years and then only just signed up to Profit Accumulator just to be able to make these videos for you. But to me, if you compare the two, that for me looks much easier to sort of work out and go to. Whereas here, it just looks a mess. It fills the whole screen. Yes, you have the same options of bringing down different menus, but because of the lack of color coordination with everything, whereas here it's all like nicely, you've got symbols, so straight away without me needing to read the word filter, because of that symbol there, I know that's the filter tab, whereas here there's nothing like that. So yeah, for me, the Profit Accumulator one just isn't as nicely laid out. It is pretty much the same layout, it's just not as well put together in my opinion. The next tool we're going to go ahead and look at then is same again on the OddsMonkey dashboard. We'll click on the calculator. So this is just the basic standard calculator that you'll use in order to sort of manually work out what bets you'll need to do. So of course you'd put £10 stake in there, back odds of 2.0, 0% back commission because bookies don't charge their own commission. Of course, they make money from providing you with worse value odds than what the true value is. And then the lay odds, we'll just put as an example of 2.1. And then that simply just works everything out. It's nice and simple. And you can also toggle it into advanced mode to give you underlay or overlay. And I have had people ask me before, do you ever underlay or overlay? And no, I always just place the standard match bet there. And yeah, there's even more options there, so you can do an exact overlay or underlay if you want to experiment with that. But usually I just have it in simple mode, and then it tells you everything nice and easy there. Over on the Profit Accumulator dashboard then, in order to get their calculator, it's just this bottom middle one here, so we'll go ahead and check that out. For the Profit Accumulator calculator then, it pretty much looks exactly the same, doesn't it? So you've got the normal type, bet mode, you can put it on simple or advanced, and that's going to give you the same sort of thing. We'll put our example of 10 in there, back odds of 2, lay odds of 2.1 again, and then put the lay commission there. There's no option there to put any back commission, which is maybe a bit more straightforward and simple because bookmakers don't ever charge a commission, so why have that there? And then you go down, and although everything pretty much looks the same, for me that there in the results doesn't look as great, as cleanly sort of set out. Whereas there in the results, it just looks a bit nicer and more presented, better presented, I think. Whereas there, it's just like, yeah, just a bit more basic and more simple. They have got a copy feature there, which is quite nice to be able to just press copy, and then you can paste that into your smart kits to place the lay. So that's quite nice, I suppose. It saves you typing in numbers. But yeah, for me, comparing the basic calculator back to back, the OddsMonkey one just looks much nicer and much cleaner in my opinion. So now we'll go ahead and check out the Racing Matcher. So again, on the OddsMonkey dashboard, you would just select Racing Matcher. And this is the tool that you would use in order to, of course, find you the best horse racing offers to be able to get on. And this, as we can see here, the OddsMonkey one, due to the fact that it's a Monday today, it's not going to show as much, I don't think, in the form of offers. But if we go ahead and select that one, it might give us a chance to have a look at how it's presented here, which would be nice for the video. Okay, so yeah, that's how it's presented. Again, everything's nicely laid out, color coordinated for the back and lay bet there, so you know which is which. And then you've got an extra calculator here, which is going to show you everything in more detail. So just to give you an idea of what that looks like. So yeah, to me, it's just really, really easy to use and straightforward. Now let's go ahead and take a look at the Racing Matcher over on Profit Accumulator. So for that, from what I can see here, there's no option directly on the dashboard to take you to that. So what you'd have to do is go to the odds matching and then go down to, I believe it's called the Match Catcher. That's going to then bring up a new tab and start providing you with various odds matches. So here we can see horses, and again, it's very poorly sort of laid out, isn't it? Yeah, there's no, I don't even know how to select that where it's to do with the offers. I might be on the wrong thing here, so I'll just have a look through again. So Acca catcher, Dutching, each way catcher, extra place. So as far as I can see, this is the best sort of option you've got. Yeah, so basically on OddsMonkey with the Racing Matcher, they're going to actually show you up racing offer refunds for each bookmaker, describe what that is to you, and then actually show it you in a really well presented list here. And you've got so many options with it, and it's really nicely laid out. Whereas looking at Profit Accumulators, it's just not very well laid out, and I can't actually see anywhere where there is going to be. So it would be under Odds Matcher. Yeah, there isn't anywhere there where you can actually just have a list of all the horse racing offers for that day. If I'm wrong, please do comment below, but on looking at it, there isn't anything like that. So OddsMonkey definitely has to win on the Racing Matcher part of this video. Next then, back to the dashboard, we'll take a look at the Dutch Matcher, and then we'll go ahead and look at the Profit Accumulator one. So for those of you that are brand new to match betting, you don't know what Dutching is. Dutching is just where, as you can see here from the list, you place a back bet at one bookmaker, and then you place another back bet at another bookmaker on the other outcome. So back one outcome for the team winning, go to another bookmaker, back them to draw, and then go to a third bookmaker if it's, say, for example, a football match, and back the team to lose. So no matter what, you've covered all the outcomes just like you would in a standard back and lay, but with Dutching, you're actually not needing to use an exchange and you're just using different bookmaker accounts. And there are reasons why you do Dutching for, say, example, the tennis offers where the exchanges have different retirement rules than the bookmakers. But that's something for a complete another video. I am going to do a video completely on Dutching. But this video is all about just checking out the tools and comparing them between the two sites. So the Dutch matcher here then, we can see that, again, it's just nicely laid out. It's got the symbols again to say it's football. Of course, the symbols to say which bookmaker is the logos of the bookmaker. That makes it so much easier rather than having to read out each one. You can just know from the colors. And then we've got all the odds laid out. And again, there's usually the filter. You can set everything up in there, nice and easy. And then the ratings there. And it's all really nicely laid out. Now let's go ahead and look at the Profit Accumulator one. So over on the Profit Accumulator dashboard, there isn't any quick sort of option to get to the Dutching matter on here like there is on OddsMonkey. So we will need to go up to the top and then go to the Dutching one. That's opened up a new tab then completely. And it's just loaded everything up here. So this is sort of showing us here. And again, in my opinion, if you want to compare these, so it's good that it's got the logos to the bookmakers. But if you want to compare them back to back, then just look at that layout and then look at that layout. It just, for me, feels much more put together, much easier to read than all that. Everything's a bit spaced apart. I can't really see what's going on. That might just be me because I've used OddsMonkey for over 2 years and I've never used Profit Accumulators before. But as I say, you be the judge. Comment below with which site you think has better tools, by the way, if you want to get involved. Of course, if you're finding this video useful up to now, then please press the like button below. Really appreciate it. But yeah, so that's going to do it for the Dutching matcher. Then you can see yourself which one's more, easily laid out and much better to read. The next tool I want to show you, starting with OddsMonkey again, is actually the extra place matcher. So that's something that's really, really handy for when we're doing the extra place offers. And there isn't that here on the dashboard. That's just, this one's the each way matcher, which I never really use. It's not something to get in on for each way bets. I'm not interested in that. So what we need to do is actually go to tools, matchers, and then it's the one at the bottom that says extra place matcher. And then what you'll get to see here is, of course, a select event, and then there's a drop down of all the events that are on for that day. If there's anything to do with golf for the week, that's usually then updated because golf obviously runs from a Thursday to a Sunday, 4-day tournaments. And the extra place matcher for the golf extra place offers is normally updated on a Tuesday or Wednesday morning at the very latest, but normally a Tuesday. So you can select which horse race you want for the day there. And then, as usual, it's really nicely laid out. If anything changes, like back odds or anything, you can just manually change it in there. Click somewhere on the screen, and then it's going to reset the odds for you. So now let's just jump over to Profit Accumulator, and I'll show you what that looks like there. So again, there's nothing on the dashboard to get us straight to that, but there wasn't on OddsMonkey, remember, so that's no big deal. We just go up to odds matching, and then down to the extra place catcher. They call it the catcher, not the matcher. That's brought up a completely new tab for that now with the Profit Accumulator site. And in my opinion, that's very, very similar. So if you just look at it and sort of work it out for yourself, that's very similar. When you look at that and then you swap over to the OddsMonkey one, comparing the two, there's not too much difference. I still think the OddsMonkey one's just a bit easier to read and a bit simpler to sort of work out. But that's fantastic. It did just flash up there on the Profit Accumulator one to show that the odds are changing. So that's a nice feature. That doesn't happen with the OddsMonkey one. You have to just keep manually pressing refresh yourself. So that's quite a nice feature for the Profit Accumulator one. But yeah, I still think the OddsMonkey one just reads a bit nicer there. Now we're going to go ahead and look at the Accumulator matcher or ACCA catcher, whichever site you want to call it by which name. And on the OddsMonkey dashboard, yet again, there's no quick sort of button to that. We just go to Tools and then down to Accumulators and click on the ACCA Finder, they call it on OddsMonkey. And then here, as you can see, it's nice and clearly laid out. It's going to tell you your expected value for that offer for getting onto it. £10, 8 pence there, expected value, which teams to be betting on, and then you can even select here from the list of which bookmaker offer it is. So that's nice and easy. You've got the refresh button there to load it. You get the little monkey face spinning around there, which is cute. And then over on the Profit Accumulator page, if we just compare them back to back, for that, again, you just go up to odds matching, and then they call it the ACCA Catcher. So ACCA Finder and ACCA Catcher. And looking at Profit Accumulators, it's pretty much the same thing. But again, in my opinion, it's just a bit more difficult to read. Maybe it's something that you would get used to, of course, over time. But just comparing the two, so that's Profit Accumulator, and then there's OddsMonkey's. And yeah, like I say, it seems more well presented over on OddsMonkey, again, with that tool. Now we've looked at all the tools, we're going to go ahead and look at the profit tracker for each website, and then you can sort of see which one's going to be nicer to use for that. So for the OddsMonkey profit tracker, we just click on the top here for profit. With OddsMonkey's profit tracker, then this is exactly how it's laid out. It's just nice and easy here with the profit tracker. You can press add a manual entry here and very easily just type in your profit there. So you just put, say, £5 in, click the mark as settle box, press save, and then that's it. It would just nicely track your profit. Now let's go over and check the profit tracker over on Profit Accumulator. For the profit tracker here then, we would just simply be able to click the profit tracker button there on the dashboard. And again, this may be because I've not been used to using this, but for me, that just looks very confusing. There's something here called your balance sheet, your profits. Again, if you've been using this already and you kind of know what you're doing with it, then I could see how it would be a great tool to use. But for me, I'll just show you the comparisons. That just looks more simply laid out. Just today's profit, this month, last month, total. Add your manual one there, and then just it has your list there of your profits and your qualifying losses. So yeah, it just, and then when you look at that, I know it's not been set up, but it just looks like there's too much going on. There's not enough color coordination there. The only thing that's colored there is the profit, the numbers there. And yeah, like I say, with OddsMonkeys, it's just, there's much more color coordination and like everything's just easier to read and better laid out in my opinion. So I hope you've enjoyed this video. Again, if you have, press the like button below. And I hope it's shown you the differences between OddsMonkey and Profit Accumulator. If you haven't seen the previous episodes I did on the channel for these, then I'll leave pop-outs now for those videos so you can go and check those out. And please be sure to check out the future videos that I've got coming up on these. As usual, that's going to do it for this one. Thank you very much for watching, and I'll see you in the next one.